Here's the origin story, you pervert. If you've been on the internet over the past few days, you must have come across this song multiple times. It was so popular and people requested so many times that NHK, the Japanese National Broadcasting Company, had to come out and officially stated that this thing is banned from the air because of its content. So what is this song exactly about again? We'll find out and look into how it came to be. The thing is, the singer who sung this song isn't even a singer.
This isしぐれうい,
a Japanese illustrator and VTuber who streams her making art online. They call her Ui Mama, which is exactly what you think it means,
you pervert.
And last year, she put out an album, which I guess it means she's also a singer now that she put out that album. But she did it just for fun, and this track came out of that album. In this song, Shigure Ui was playing her younger self. They call her Shigure Ui Kyusai, which means 9 years old. Remember that, because this will be important later. Anyway, this alter ego was originally created so that she could share embarrassing stories from her childhood during her streams.
And then, one day,
she lost a bet against Chat and had to do some acting as a little girl. And so she got Shigure Ui Kyusai to do it. And Chat,
being the savages that they are,
Chat responded by acting like creepy predators, and then they had some fun. Shigure responded by threatening to use her security buzzer. For those who don't know, these are personal safety alarms for kids to carry around. You see, in Japan, kids usually go to school on their own, and perverts be pervin no matter what country they're in. Hence, personal safety alarm that they need to carry around to call the police should the pervs be pervin.
Looking at you, perverts.
So that's not a ball gag that she's going to put on you,
you pervert.
One pull on that thing and the coppers will be up your ass in no time.
Your move, creep.
Back to the story. Now, with Chat role-playing as perverts, Shigure Ui Kyusai threatened to sound her personal safety alarm to call the police and send the whole Chat to jail. But that's not exactly what it seems like on the surface. Threatening to pull on that personal safety alarm tag is a popular Metsugaki trope, playing into the themes of blackmail and coercion coming from the Loli. It's a consensual degradation thing, which is something that you perverts know about very well, don't you? So this is not a choker that she's threatening to put on you,
you pervert.
It's a personal safety alarm, and that's why she's having a fan meeting in jail, which was actually another pun. Gokchude means in prison, or in this context, she's saying that you're going to prison. But the same reading can also be written as Gokchude, which is an onomatopoeia for lots of kisses.
You pervert.
This is why Requiem for Salvation is a fan service song for her fans, which is, by the way, in Japanese, salvation is Kyusai, which sounds a lot like Shigure Ui Kyusai, meaning 9 years old, making the Requiem for Salvation a pun for a requiem for a 9 years old. And now you need to replay this video and listen again to the translation of the whole song, and it will take an entirely different meaning because now you know the context of the song. So what do we do with this? Well, now that you're also cursed with this knowledge, one quickly realizes that there's a difference between someone who knows the culture and a tourist. That is, people who don't know the culture that gives birth to this song. They think that this song is an anti-Loli song, which is exactly the opposite. And now it's your turn to share this video so that others may also carry this burden of knowledge. Because I'm sure as heck not gonna deal with this by myself. If you've been hanging around the internet over the past few days listening to Shigure Ui, you must have come across this version where the little girl fired her lovely 9mm. We are living in such a weird timeline that saying a girl firing her 9mm is a regular meme that's not so weird to say anymore. A testament on how different our lives and culture was when this song was first minted. I mean, the song itself is called 9mm, and it's a remix made by a group called Memphis Cult. While it is implied that in this song the girl is parading her 9mm, the original intention of the song
is not what you think.
Because this is not a new song. It is sampled from a 1980s song called 9mm Goes Bang by Boogie Down Productions. Specifically, it was released in 1987 as part of Boogie Down Productions' original debut album called Criminal Minded. And to be honest, it is a quintessentially 80s song which addresses the prevalent gang violence plaguing the inner cities of the US during the 1980s, a time when going full Flanders was still kinda rare, unless you worked for the post office. For those who don't know, post office is where you send your text messages before they invented the cell phones. That's right, you have to print out your text using these old-fashioned Apple pencils that has ink in them. And put it in an envelope, and then you lick a tiny bit of paper they call stamp, and then you have to walk to the post office and send it.
The smoking.
And as part of that job, they also sometimes deliver hot lead. The kind of which that goes zoom zoom when the 9mm goes bang. So what's with the history and the story behind this song anyway? Boogie Down Productions' 9mm Goes Bang is a classic hip-hop song that addresses the violence and danger that was prevalent in the inner cities of the US during the 1980s. The song's narrator tells the story of a young man who is forced to defend himself with a 9mm after being confronted by a rival gang. The song's lyrics are a perfect example of KRS-One's storytelling ability. He paints a vivid picture of the streets and the violence that was prevalent during the era. These lines set the tone for the rest of the song and highlight the dangers of life in the inner cities. The message of the song is clear. Violence only leads to more violence, and there are no winners in a world where everyone is armed and dangerous. KRS-One also highlights the fact that the police are often unable to help those in need, which forces people to resort to violence in order to survive. 9mm Goes Bang is a powerful and important song that remains relevant today. It is a reminder of the devastating consequences of violence and the importance of finding peaceful solutions to conflict. The song can also be seen as a critique of the social and economic conditions that lead to violence in the inner city. KRS-One suggests that the lack of opportunities and the prevalence of poverty and crime rate create a breeding ground for violence. The song's title, 9mm Goes Bang, is also symbolic. The 9mm is a common weapon in the inner city and is often used in gang violence. The title suggests that violence is a quick and easy solution to conflict, but it's also a dangerous and destructive one. 9mm Goes Bang is widely regarded as a classic hip-hop song and is often cited as one of the greatest rap songs of all time. It has been sampled by countless artists and has featured in movies, TV shows, and video games. The song's message is just as relevant today as it was when it was released, as gun violence continues to be a major issue in many cities across the US. Boogie Down Productions' debut album, Criminal Minded, is widely regarded as a classic and has influenced countless artists in the years since its release. KRS-One is considered to be one of the most important and influential figures in hip-hop history. His music and lyrics have helped to shape the sound of hip-hop and have raised awareness of important social and political issues. But none of that really mattered, doesn't it? Because y'all are just here to watch this 9-year-old dance.
You pervert.
But now that you know all of this, it's time to share it with other people so that
Just to acknowledge.
now it's your turn to hit like and subscribe.
Oh, savages.
Loli culture.
Well, you have to know these things when you're a king, you know.